Welcome to LifeSpider QwA with Answers. This is the place where no questions are too big or too small. The place where we encourage you to embrace your ego, find all of your life purposes, and inspire you to follow your vivid visions so you can live a life in passion, peace, and performance. My name is Frida Carbo. I'm a LifeSpider coach and possibility explorer, and I'm excited to be here as the connection between your questions and the answers that comes up for Birgitta Granström. She is the founder of LifeSpider System and the leader of the International LifeSpider movement. We're both originally from Sweden, but now Birgitta lives in California and I'm here in New Zealand, coming to you online so you can listen and ask questions from wherever you are in the world. Welcome again to LifeSpider QwA with Answers. Let the quest begin. Yay! Hello, Birgitta. Here we are again. How are you today?
We are again, Frida. Oh no, it's great. It's 100 degrees outside, and so it's warm, but it's so you better stay inside a little bit during the middle of the day. Otherwise, it's just great.
Wow, that sounds hot. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
autumn here in New Zealand, so it's pretty cold.
Oh, I miss the cold.
Can send some warm here.
Yeah, here you go. Here you go.
Thank you. So we're going to do things a bit different today. We're going to talk about a concept and just see where it goes. And I thought that fit the LifeSpider system perfectly because that's what we've been doing all along, just see where the energy and the curiosity is. So
Yeah.
let's see where we're going with that. And we've been talking, you and I, lately a lot about the Indigo and Bridgebuilder concepts, and there's also an Indigo test. So I wanted to explore that a bit more.
I'm excited about the topic, and the last day when we have been talking, I think it's become so clear about the importance of the bridge builder, and that kind of a concept you haven't heard about that before. It's more Indigo has been there hanging around for a couple of decades, but not the bridge builder. So I'm really excited about that, and it's I think that will be something huge and fun and interesting.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that too because, I did the test a few years ago for the first time, and I'm like, oh no, I'm not an Indigo, and didn't really look into, okay, I'm a bridge builder. But now when I did the test again and when we've been talking about it, it's like, oh, I'm a bridge builder. I actually am, and just starting to see what more is there.
Yeah.
So how did this test come up? When did you start to look into and
I mean, when I found the concept of the indigo, I mean, maybe that's 15, 20 years ago, somewhere there. And I was so amazed of the definition of myself. So I remember when I saw this, and before we go on, I really want to honor the mother of the indigo concept, and that's Nancy Ann Tappe. And she lived in Carlsbad in California, and I'm so proud I had the honor to meet her once before she passed away. So it's actually, if you want to look into what the indigo concept is coming from, please go to the source, because during the last 20 years it has become so many different concepts and commercialized, and but the concept she defined is really great, and it helped people to identify themselves, because an indigo person are different and works differently than ordinary people. So what was your question? I forgot that.
Yeah, maybe before we move on, if you could explain a little bit, if no one has heard about the indigo concept before, could you just explain a bit about what it is?
I mean, it's try to make it easy. It's an indigo person is one of those who always have felt different. They are really creative. They hate authorities. They have a different way of thinking and living, and they always asking why. Why is things like this? And they have kind of born with a higher consciousness, because they can see the whole picture. They have answers to questions. They have an other way of receiving information, and that's why they are upset with most of the things that's going on in the society, the rules, regulation, when it doesn't make sense. They are highly energetic, and you can and they are high achiever, and they are working. They not just think in a high speed, they are working in a high speed, and uh, they really dislike this just small talk, small chat. I mean, they want to dive deep into topics that's important, and they have an inner built mission of to be here to kind of save the world or better the world. So, and lots of indigo people, because they are not fitting into the box, are maybe labeled with all kind of I mean, ADHD and Asperger, autism, or all those labels that they are trying to put on people just so they can fit into the box. But the indigo people is not fitting into the box. So I think that's
Mm.
briefly. But as you said, there is a good test where I put everything together, and I did it maybe 10, 15 years ago, and it's still. So it's just information about this, how people's characteristics as an indigo.
Yeah. And as a bridge builder, I can relate to many of those things that you described. I can see myself in those as well. What would you say is the biggest difference between an indigo and a bridge builder?
The biggest difference is that a bridge builder have the capacity to actually stay in the box world and understand what's going on there, and they do understand the indigo, how they understand them, and they do want to understand them, because a bridge builder can see that the indigo people is those who is going to move the world and humanity forward, and that's what the bridge builder want. But the bridge builder also, they want to uh, bring as many people as possible into this, what we call the new normal, or a different way of living. So that's kind of the, so that's why bridge builder is more maybe balanced. It's still, they are smart, thinking and working pretty fast, but they still have their feet on the ground, uh, which maybe the indigo people not always have, because they have so big, huge visions, and so it's kind of more stability in a bridge builder, and really important, because that's the link in between two different worlds. Because the indigo people really need a bridge builder to manifest and accomplish their projects, and don't just go away too far. And an indigo person is so satisfied with their own life, with their thoughts, and so it's not always they get all the ideas into action. And so there is an, I can see it's a mission for the bridge builder as well, to
Yeah.
bring the people from the box world, those seekers who are ready to do something else, but also make sure or secure that the indigo people is doing and manifest their brilliant ideas. So yeah, that's a short explanation.
Yeah. Yeah. I can really relate to that. It's a
Yeah,
great
I guess
explanation. Just,
I know
just
I'm
that,
pretty good.
yeah, yeah, and just that what you said is standing in between and
Yeah,
focusing on action and yeah, just getting it out in the world. But there's also a third category, seekers in transaction. So
yes.
who are those?
Those are people who they feel there is something more, and they always are interested in to develop themselves. They have a high level of compassion, they like people, and they have a level of ambition to do research and discover, and they want to learn more about themselves. But they are kind of really kind of they feel stuck in the box, but at the same time they feel safe, and maybe they want to uh, be in the box because it's comfortable, but they still are looking for something more. So I would say everyone who feel that I'm searching for the big answers in life. I want to do more. I feel this is not enough, and so yeah. So they want to move on, but they need help to and be shown the way where to go and how to get there.
Hmm.
So, but I think the main key, as I see it, if you are a seeker, you have a high level of ambition to do the work it takes. And that's the difference between, if we say, just the box box people. The ambition is not really there, and they are happy and fine in the kind of way of life they are living.
Mm, yeah, that's true. So why do you think it's interesting to do a test like this or talk about these concepts?
Because it will change how we see people, that you can uh, get an be, first I can say for the test, for the people who's doing the test, because the most of, if you haven't heard about the concept indigo, but you always have feel that you are weird, you are not belong to the family and the community, and you feel you always have, because that's the thing that indigo people do, is they adapt to the other people because they can. So they always bring themselves down. They try to calm down and to fit in. So that's kind of frustrating. And they don't know, because if they don't know other indigo people, they think it's something wrong. And maybe they start to believe on the labels people is trying to put on their forehead. So at first, it's the relief you can give some people who always have felt that they are different, they don't belong, they feel, okay, I'm from out of space somewhere, and I better to hold back my all qualities and my speedy thinking and everything else. So I think that's the relief, and they can start to discover themselves from a whole new dimension, and they can start to talk to other who are like them. So that's a huge difference, and relief and frustration is gone, and they can start to work on their project.
Yeah, it's so powerful to find other people that feel and think the same as you,
Yeah.
because you can feel quite
And then
alone
when you
in that
get
space.
when you have got the understanding who you are, then you don't care if you are an indigo or whatever, because you, as an indigo, you don't want to be called an indigo because you hate the
Yeah.
label. But you have an understanding it's okay to be you for 100%. You don't have to hold back. So, and you can admit that don't, you really dislike slow people, you hate stupidity, and that's a kind of a relief to just be able to say, I don't have to deal with that anymore. There is a group, I have my peers over here, so I can be me.
And maybe also team up with a bridge builder, so you know that can
Oh,
help you.
oh yes, and when they and they have to team up with a bridge builder, and when they realize that there is a bridge builder who actually love their way of being and doing, because
Mm,
otherwise most of the time they get complaints about it, they should do things in a different way, and the bridge builder always hear what's said and say, okay, we let's fix this. So that's also a kind of an excitement for an indigo, and see, okay, maybe my crazy idea can become reality, and that's huge.
yeah, and also for the bridge builder to actually be of use with standing in between, like knowing that I don't have to decide. I can because one thing I'm as a bridge builder feel is that people say, "Oh, you can't decide." That's because I see so many perspectives and I understand them. So that's really a place where that can come to use instead of seeing, "Oh, I have to change. I have to be something else or something." Just no, this is who I am. I have a lot of different perspectives, and you can use that. So,
Yeah, that's good. And because that's for the bridge builder, they are trying to force, they think there's something wrong with them because they don't have an opinion. Don't you have an opinion? And actually, yes, you have an opinion about everything, but it's not one specific. So that must also be feel like a really great relief. It's nothing wrong. You don't have to seek to choose side. You can be on
yeah,
both side. I mean, it's not an easy position because there is two absolutely different worlds. So it takes some practicing to be able to handle it.
yeah,
So
it's really interesting.
yeah, and I'm also thinking about that. I've heard several bridge builders say they are kind of disappointed because they're not becoming in indigo, because they don't want to belong to the really the box, but they are not either an indigo, and they try to make it up so they can belong to someone. To
Mm,
something. And but now when they really have this definition of the bridge builder, they can feel at home, and then they are satisfied, and they realize, I don't want to be an indigo because it's messy out there, and oh, I don't want to become these those other ones, or even a seeker, because that's too boring. So they will be really happy, I can have the best of both worlds. So
yeah.
that's
It's wonderful. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really wonderful.
Hmm. Yeah, it's interesting.
Mm. So, do you think everyone fits into these categories?
I would say when you start to put the categories, I mean, nothing is black and white, and you should know that because that's an indigo, but it helps the majority of people to see, okay, who am I? And you can, and the most useful thing with a test is that you, as you said, I don't have to make a choice. The big thing, the big issue in life can be solved. And if you do, I mean, you can divide humanity in male and female, but that's not all to it. I mean, and this is the same. No, it's an indigo, it's a bridge builder and seeker, and in those groups, of course, there are differences, and you
Yeah.
have a little bit more or a little bit less. So it's absolutely, that's not the truth, and that's the good thing with this test is that you realize, I mean, that's not the truth, that no one is trying to put you in in a certain place, but it's your choice, and you have a bigger understanding about yourself.
Mm.
So this is not to put another label on someone, it's just to increase the understanding. And from there, when you have got the understanding, you move on, and then you don't care about the test anymore. You don't care about it. It's just, this is who I am. So it's just a one-time insight, and then you can move on in a different way.
Yeah. And that's how you treat most personality tests. Because I heard you say that before. Like, if you do a test, it's information about who you are and what you're answering right now. And then you can get the information you need from that and move on,
Yeah,
not to
exactly.
put you in a box.
Yes,
Yeah.
oh, sorry, I just interrupted. But that's the thing, what they're trying to do in the what we call the 3D world, or this box world. They try to put a label on things, and when they have got a label on something, they do whatever it takes to put all people and keep the people in that box. And if they
Mm.
sticking out or go outside that box and behave in a different way, they put another label, or they restrain them in one or another way, instead of just see there is no just, you are not just yellow, red, I mean, all those personalities that are amazing, that are great. But if you are trying to stick, no, I'm a red one, so I can't do that. That's just an excuse for not do the change you need to change to move on. So
Mm.
here
So
we're
do,
absolutely not putting them in a box. No.
yeah. So do you think you can move from the seeker to the bridge builder to the indigo, or
I think there is a pretty huge movement from the seekers into the bridge builder.
mm.
I think there is quite of a movement. There is a less movement, but there is a movement because bridge builder sometimes it's a suppressed indigo.
Yeah.
And when they start to find out, okay, I'm a bridge builder, they start to act out, and more of their characteristics is showing up. So there is a certain kind of a movement. Uh,
Mm.
But I think the movement is bigger from the seeker to the bridge builder, and it's less from the bridge builder to the indigo, because the indigo is, yeah, they nail it immediately. And so, but of
Yeah.
course it happened, and I don't know. It would be exciting.
Yeah, we'll see. So do you think it's the goal to become an indigo, or
No, no, absolutely not. No, I mean that's stupidity.
yeah.
That's stupidity, because then you have a judgment that someone is, it's better to become an indigo than become a bridge builder, or it's better to become a seeker, and that's not what this is about. It's kind of a definition about who you are, and there is no judgment, because the best thing is you, and no matter who you are. And that's, I mean, for all people. But if you are not authentic, if you don't know yourself, and you are act from defense, suppressed ego, you don't know your longings, you don't know your dreams, and you walk around in a fake world, and you try to design an identity that other people like, or that's the modern, or this the fashion identity. So
Mm.
absolutely not a goal. Then we are, wrong. Yeah. So you
Yeah.
hear me? I kind of get upset.
Oh no. So, what do you think would happen if more people did or found out what they were, what category they were in?
I mean, it's I often I go back to this Tetris, the old video game. Well, I mean, pieces would start to fall in place where they are supposed to be, and when
I'd love
everything.
Tetris.
Yeah. Oh, you did. Yeah, I remember it a little bit. But that's kind of what's happening, and that's what we are working for. Because when every piece has its unique place, and you are planted in the right soil, we can grow together, and then there is no conflict. But now the Tetris, when it's coming down, there is one little tiny box over here that all the pieces is trying to fit in. Of course,
Yeah.
it will become chaos, and.
Hmm.
So I mean, so this is for, I mean, the whole world will see a difference when this happens. And I mean, when the indigo people is taking more place because they are everywhere in every age, in every profession. So they kind of are all over the place. So when they take place, things will happen because they are strong, they are powerful, they have creativity, and they take action. They have no fear, and they do things together. So change will come when that's happened.
Mm. Yeah, exciting. Yeah, I really
Yeah,
like that analogy with the
yeah,
Tetris. Yeah.
yeah. No, I've never seen it for how they're falling down in one and the same box. So they
Yeah.
wonder why is it chaos in the world? Yeah, look at this. That's why.
Yeah, everyone doesn't fit everywhere. So, yeah, love that.
That's cool. Mm.
Yeah, so time flies already. It's time to wrap up this interview
Already.
or quest today. So, do you have any finishing words that you would like to say?
No, I think I just want to direct the message to you who feel or always have felt different. I mean, try to find out that you actually are maybe more normal than everybody else around you. So, and of course, I mean, do the test. I mean, there is just to increase the awareness about yourself and see where you're landing, because
Yeah.
that's a relief. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
liberate.
such a relief. Mm.
Yeah. No,
Great.
it is. I like this conversation.
Yeah, me too. So, thank you very much, Birgitta, for today. And thank you for watching. And I see you next week again.
Yeah, we do. Thank you.
Yeah,
See you guys.
thank
Bye
you.
bye. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Thank you very much for tuning in today. As you noticed, we did things a bit different. We just chose a theme and asked questions that came up from that. And your questions are still important, and we're going to look at them and see what themes come in and do like more of a uh, theme episodes, if you will. So we're still looking forward to hear your questions in the comments or following the link to the forum to ask your questions. And we're going to take them up as they come and just put them together in different themes that you want us to talk about and that we feel curious to talk about, because that way we will follow the energy of what you want to listen to, but also what we are curious of finding out more about. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I'm looking forward to hear your thoughts and write a comment what is your biggest takeaway from this episode. And I'm going to put the link to the test below as well. And I'm looking forward to see what you are, if you're a bridge builder like me, maybe. So thank you very much for tuning in. And I'm looking forward to see you and hear from you and see you next week. Bye.